Hey guys, welcome to the first week of class. I wanted to kind of go over the syllabus with you. And so I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to pull up the syllabus. This is in Blackboard already. And so please pull it up and follow along. I'm not going to read it word for word, but I am going to go over a few high points so that you have everything you need to get started. First things first, the syllabus. If this is your first college class, or if this is your first semester, the syllabus in any class is incredibly important. So make sure that you're keeping a copy. It'll be in Blackboard the whole semester, no matter what. Make sure that you refer back to it when you have questions, and that's with any syllabus. So first things first, office hours. Office and office hours. My office is in the BTC building on the main campus on the second floor, room 228. There is a open computer lab on the second floor, and my office is in a hallway that's kind of hidden behind that. So you'll probably see a door that says faculty, and most of the time it's locked. That's a rule, not a trying to keep you out. But there's several offices back there. Just knock, and if anybody's in their office, we'll obviously come out and answer. You can drop by. I will be in my office for office hours, Tuesdays from 10 to 1 and Thursdays 10:45 to 12:45. I'm actually there longer than that. If you know you're coming, no matter what time it is, I need email me first, just in case I've been pulled into a meeting or whatever. Okay. If I have to cancel office hours, I will put that as a message or an announcement in Blackboard. So make sure you're checking that also. So we have our book is an ebook, and I like the content in the book. I do not love that there is only an ebook option. I want you to know that. Um, they do not give us an option to print it. So I don't love that, but we're going to do the best we can. So you have to have it. There is no way to successfully finish the class and pass without the book. You will get an email from the bookstore with your access code. So that's likely already, if you're watching this video, they've already sent that email. So make sure that you go check your email from a note from the bookstore. So there's a couple of things um, that I want to go over in the syllabus. So your book, you also need Microsoft Word and PowerPoint. The written assignments. So not discussions, not quizzes, but the written assignments. Oh, and not journals, because we'll do a reflection journal. But anything else, if I'm asking you to write an essay or um, question and answer kind of typing, all of that in Blackboard needs to be submitted as a Word document, not a OneDrive file, not a SharePoint file, not a Google Doc, not a ODT, not Pages from Mac. I'm a Mac user. Blackboard does not open any of that in the way that it opens Microsoft Word. Word documents are required. If you don't have Word on your computer, you actually get it for free from the college. So go into your My Apps that you have when you're logging in, and there will be an online version of Word given to you for free. If you need to download it to your computer, I can give you some directions to do that too. So you aren't required to use the downloaded desktop version of Word in this class. There are classes that require that though. So if you need that, even for another class, let me know and I can talk you through how to get to the link to download the full desktop version. Like micro apps, computer concepts. There's a few other classes that will require that full desktop version, and I can show you how to download that. Otherwise, the online version of Word 365 is just fine. Chromebooks, not allowed. Chromebooks are not allowed at all. Not just this class, though. If you have an instructor saying you can use a Chromebook, I'm not going to go against that. The deal with Chromebooks in general are they're not a full computer, number one. They're not a full computer. They're only a partial computer. Number two, Blackboard does not show you everything it's supposed to show you if you're on a Chromebook because it's only a partial computer. So you're only getting part of what you're supposed to see. On top of that, Chromebooks do not allow any type of documents other than what Google creates. So Microsoft, like you can't download Microsoft to it or anything like that. So Chromebooks are for high school, real computers are for college. That's a good kind of line to explain the difference. So don't go out and go buy a Chromebook, please. Get a real laptop. Um, Next, I'm not going to read these, but learning outcomes are the things that you're going to learn throughout. So, course outcomes at the bottom are the ones that we're covering in class. Program outcomes are the ones at the top. If you're in the entrepreneurship program, by the time you graduate, you will have done and hopefully mastered all the things on the list. That's um, the attendance policy. And I put in there that you're required to log in at least twice a week. Here's what I want to explain about that. I'm not going to go, oh, you only logged in once this week. I'm not going to do that. But if you really want to be successful, you need to log in very early in the week, Monday or Tuesday. Make sure you're getting the intro video, the list of things to do that's expected, reading the directions of the assignments, and understanding how long it's going to take you to do things. And then when you have more time, come back another day and start heavily working on that. Now, obviously, if you want to work every Monday and get as much done as you can, I'm not stopping that. That's not bad. What I don't want is for you to wait until Sunday night at 10:30 p.m. and think you can successfully read your entire chapter, get the check your understanding questions done throughout the reading, then get your quiz done, and then get any writing assignments or video assignments or anything else that we've got going on. There's not enough time to do that. So, yes, the due date is Sunday, but that's the last day, not the first day. The first day is Monday. And so you need to know early on in the week what's going on. If we have a discussion question, some weeks there are discussion questions and some weeks there are not. But if there's a discussion question, make sure that you're logging in early in the week and that your response to the question is by Thursday. And then, because part of the grade of the discussion question, you've got two parts to that grade. So you've got your answer of the question that's being asked. And then you have to respond to two classmates' posts to simulate a class discussion since we're online and not face to face. Those, if we need more answers to the discussion question early on so that there are plenty of those for us to respond to. If everyone waits until Sunday, then there's no way that we can get all of our posts done before the deadline. Not everybody can wait up till midnight to do everything. So the goal is to have your initial discussion question posted by Thursday, with that giving us the full weekend to go back in and respond should we still need to. Okay? Earlier the better. Late policy. I give a 24-hour grace period. Almost every single one of our deadlines is Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. Every Sunday, every week from now until finals. You're going to have something to do every Sunday, except for spring break, no matter what. But I also know that there's going to be a day that you're going to log in and the internet's down, or your computer's not working, or your child is really sick and you had to take them to the ER, or you're really sick and you had to go to the ER. Okay, that will happen at some point to most of us. That I'm giving you 24 hours. So the due date is still Sunday, but I'm giving you until Monday at 11:59 p.m. to turn it in should you need that. Monday is not the deadline though. That is only to be used when you absolutely need to. But understand, you don't have to tell me. That grace period is for everyone to use when they need it. That also allows if you're let's say you're on a third shift at work, and so your normal time to do homework is like 3 a.m. Great. It's still open for you at that point. I don't want you waiting till Sunday to get started for obvious reasons because it would avoid this need for a Monday grace period totally. But that grace period is there. I'm not asking questions. I Anything after Sunday night at 11:59, Blackboard is going to flag it with a red late. Ignore that if you're turning it in on Monday. Okay? Ignore that. If you log in on Monday and all of a sudden in the grade book you see a automatic zero because at 12:01 a.m. Blackboard automatically will put a zero in every grade for every person that was due that didn't get submitted by 11:59. If you're turning it in on Monday, that zero will convert to the real grade once I grade it. Okay, so don't panic about that. There's no way for me to avoid that. I can't make it not do that. So the deadline's Sunday, but there's no penalty or anything as long as you do it within that 24-hour grace period. Now, after that grace period, you're gonna have to email me and say, tell me what's going on. And you need to do it as soon as possible. 6 weeks after, it doesn't work. I need you to let me know up front what's happening. If heaven forbid somebody has to go to the hospital and you go Sunday and you're hoping to be released on Monday and you don't get released till Tuesday, just shoot me an email. Quick. Hey, we came in on Sunday. I forgot my computer. I didn't bring it with me. We should be released on Tuesday. Can I do my homework then? You know what? Let me know. Let me know. If I do approve anything past the grace period, understand that there is likely a late penalty happening. So your grade would be a little bit lower. But I need you reaching out first and not assuming that everything is being taken. Okay? So, grace period for everybody, no questions asked. After that, you got to email me. Okay? Communication. Communication is incredibly important to me. I am not the teacher that doesn't care what you do. I'm not the teacher that doesn't care about your grade. I am not that person. I need to be kept in the loop. If you're struggling, I want to know. If you think this is the greatest thing ever, tell me that too. It is the expectation of the college that you're checking your email, your student email daily. The biggest complaint that we get is that students aren't checking email. The biggest complaint we get from people that hire our students are they don't ever check their work email. Start today. I'm not asking you to check it 10 times a day. Check it every day, though. One time a day, every single day, to just see if there's something important in there. Every time I post an announcement, it'll also come to your email. So you wouldn't necessarily have to log into Blackboard to see any new announcements. You can set up your phone to receive your student email and see everything that you need to know, especially from an emergency standpoint. If I have to cancel office hours, I put that in the announcement. If you and I have an appointment, and let's say I have to take my sick kid to the doctor, I'm going to email you and say, hey, can we reschedule? So, but also if you're on financial aid, all of that information comes to your email. So start today, checking it once a day. Okay? Great. Next, academic integrity. It's basically saying don't cheat. That's what this says. I want to talk about AI for very, very briefly. I am not banning AI, but here's the deal. You need to learn how to use it effectively. AI is an amazing tool that we can use. And if you're typing into Aunt Chatty something that's going to help you with something, don't copy and paste that into your assignment. That's cheating. That's what cheating is. However, if you're using that as a very, very good resource, which it is, and you're referencing where you got this information, you're quoting where it needs to be quoted, and all the other ways that we can avoid plagiarism and academic dishonesty, then I'm fine with it. If you don't know how to use it effectively, though, I'm going to tell you to stay off of it because I'm not about this class needs your thoughts, not Google's thoughts or Aunt Chatty's thoughts. Okay? So, this is basically the grading. I might make an edit to this, but this is basically how everything's going to break down. Quizzes and expert sessions, check your understanding, discussion questions, our business plan project, which we'll work on, and then our final exam. Um, quizzes and expert sessions. Quizzes and expert sessions are held in our ebook inside of Stukent. So there will be a link in Blackboard, but it'll actually take you to Stukent. Um, those have to be done in Stukent. If I could download them and put them in Blackboard, I would. I've tried. Um, check your understanding. Check your understanding when you're reading your chapter. We don't have chapter readings every week, but every week that we do have a chapter reading, you're going to get a grade on the check your understanding questions that are embedded throughout. So you're reading your chapter, and then at the end of each section, it's going to ask you one or two questions to check that you're understanding what's going on. Check your understanding questions are multiple choice, but they are they are unlimited, and the goal is mastery, meaning if you get it wrong, do it again. Do it until you get it right. That's for check your understanding questions because it is important that you do understand before you keep moving forward. I need you to learn the things before progressing. Check your understanding questions are gauging, are you where you need to be? Okay? So you can take the question, check your understanding questions as many times as you need to. It's completely unlimited. But don't move on to the next section until you've got that question right. So keep that in mind. Discussion questions. I've already talked about those. Um, all discussion questions have two parts. One, your answer to the question, and two, you responding to two classmates. And I'll have more information inside the discussion for that. Business plan project. We're going to write a very short business plan in this class. Normal business plans can be 20, 30 pages. This one's one, maybe two, maybe. So it's going to be short, but we're going to write it as time goes along. So we're going to do a piece here and a piece there. So don't let that panic you. And then there's a final exam at the very end that will be very similar to your quizzes that you will have taken throughout the semester. I usually get everything graded within about 7 days. If I get behind, I will shoot you an announcement or an email or both and say, hey guys, I'm behind, and I'll explain whatever. And if I have to update something, I will. Um, I've already said that there'll be a list of things to do in Blackboard, and most things are due on Sunday at 11:59. Again, everything, your written assignments, not discussions, not quizzes, and not journals, will need to be attached as a Word document, not the link. Keep that in mind. Um, the last thing says, as you know, our class is in Blackboard, and each list I'll post a list of things to do. It's literally a bulleted list called things to do. That I don't ever want you to question. I have no idea what's going on. Okay. Um, so make sure you're checking it Monday or Tuesday of each week to know what the expectations are. Most weeks I also have a short video that goes, hey, here's what we're doing this week. And so that's vastly important that you're starting off the week looking at that video and that list of things to do. And if I only have a list and neglected to post a video that week, my apologies. But the most important thing is if you got online early in the week, Monday or Tuesday, checked that list and then understood, oh, this week I've got extra to do, or this week's a little bit easier so I can work on another class that I'm working on. Or so understand that there will be a list every week. There are things due every single Sunday. Um, we have things in Blackboard and in Stukent. I will link everything in Blackboard. Those that need to be done in Stukent, the link will take you there. So, um, inside the syllabus, you'll see a tentative schedule. Tentative. Um, I still, this changes usually throughout the semester based on how well we did on something. If there is, um, like in week 5, you see that there's this mission statement assignment. If we all bomb this, then I have to put a pause on us and redo some mission statement work because we have to get that before moving forward. Like we need to do well on that. That's our first part of our business plan that we would work on. So this is tentative. and it can change. Just understand that. Okay. There are some campus-wide policies, campus safety, code of conduct, accommodation policy. If you need accommodations, please seek that information from Disability Services. Um, the numbers for campus security are on there. Um, and that's the end. So after you have gone over the syllabus and watched this video however many times you need to, there is a syllabus quiz slash course agreement form. So it's the same thing. There's a few questions that you're going to need to answer inside of it before you can proceed on in the class. So make sure that you're taking your syllabus quiz slash course agreement now. Print the syllabus if you need to. You'll need it to answer a few of the questions that are in that syllabus quiz. So once you're done with watching this video, go ahead and proceed on to that, and then you can keep going and progressing through the class. So I hope this helps, and I hope we have a great semester. Bye.